So hi everyone, welcome back to the Prima Advanced User Forum. My name's Laura and this week we'll be showing you how your customers can pay their invoices online, how to set up customers for minimum and maximum order values and monthly budgets. We will also be telling you about a few new enhancements that have been added to the control panel in the latest release, such as dual carousels, multiple banners, text buttons and blogs. So we have Chris on the live chat, so if you've got any questions throughout the forum, let him know, and if at the end we will open the floor for questions. So one enhancement that you may have already seen from the last update is that now customers are able to view and pay their invoices online. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that your customer is set to view invoices online, and you do this in Prima Client. So if you choose your company and then your contact, so we'll use Tyler today, and then navigate over to the web access tab. So firstly, make sure that contact is web enabled just so they can use the web. But secondly, make sure this checkbox is ticked right here, which says show invoices. So once this is set up, the customer will be able to log into their account with the username and password on your website. So if we just navigate over. So once logged in, if they hit my account and then hit my dashboard down here, so over here in invoices, there's two separate options. So firstly, invoice list. So this lists all the current invoices that are available for that company. So if you were to click into an invoice number, then you can see the billing address, the shipping address, the status of that order, the order summary. You can resend the PDF, the invoice as a PDF. You can add stuff to cart. If you wish for the customer to pay the invoice, however, they would need to navigate back to my account and then to my dashboard. And it's this second option here that says pay invoices. So this will list all the current invoices again. The customer will simply have to check the invoice they wish to pay and scroll right the way down to the bottom where there's an option here which says continue. If you click through to there, this will just confirm the invoice to make sure the customer's paying the correct one. So the billing address, the invoice number and the balance. They then would need to hit the make payment button just over here on the right hand side. And this will navigate them to a payment screen where the payment can be taken. So we've also added a new feature into Prima Go that prevents orders from being placed if a customer has exceeded their monthly budget. So this has to be set up in Prima Client again. So if you navigate from the company back into the contact and then into the web access tab again. So it's these options here. So minimum order value, maximum order value, minimum for approval and maximum monthly value. So once you've set up the amounts in this section here, once the customer logs in, they will see that in the cart. So if they navigate over to the basket or the cart, the budget and summary will appear. So this will show the order amount used, the minimum order value and the monthly budget that's been used. As you can see on this account, the monthly budget has been exceeded. Now the customer will be able to proceed with the checkout even though they've exceeded their budget. However, an email will be sent to the customer's approver. If the customer doesn't have an approver set up, then it will follow an approver selection process. So we do have a Fresh Desk article which goes through the approver selection process, and Chris is going to link that down below in the chat. So by default, the system allows the user to exceed their monthly budget, but then requires the authorizer to authorize for the order to proceed. If you wish to prevent your user from exceeding their monthly budget, you can set this up in the control panel. So if we navigate over to the control panel and we'll hit customers and then customers again. So here you'll choose your company. So we're using Tyler D's Inc. And if you navigate over to contacts and then we're using Tyler, so we'll hit settings and then over to basket. So you can choose whichever of these options best suits your customer. This won't send an email to the approver, it will just not let the order go through. So by default, it will go through the approver process, but like this setting, we do have settings where you can stop the order coming through. If you would like to set an overall default so it doesn't go through to the approver, you can set this up in the control panel again, just in a different setting. So if we go into system and then settings, and then over to basket. And there's a drop down here right at the bottom that says prevent order from being placed. So if you were to click on here, so we have send order for approver, prevent order from being placed, and define by contact settings. So if you would like to use the settings we've just talked about, you would choose this bottom option, define by contact settings. If not, you can use any of the other two options and this will override these settings. So we've listened to feedback from our customers and added some great new enhancements to some of our existing modules on the web. So the first one being dual carousels. So if I go onto the home page, and scroll right the way down to the carousel, you can see over here we've got two carousels showing and they both show different images. So to set that up, you would set that up in contents in the control panel and then modules. And you'll notice there's a new module here called dual carousels. So if we click into that, to add a new carousel, you hit this button here that says create dual carousel. You choose an option from the drop down here on each line, and then you can give it a name. We'll just call it test 1 and test 2. You then need to hit save. And once you've done that, you can add images to them carousels. For example, these are the ones we've got set up at the minute. You can add images by hitting add image down here. You can browse images that you've got set up already on your machine. You can give them a title. You can link them if you would like the customer to click on that picture and it links to a certain page. And you can change the order. So if you would like whichever picture you would like to show first or second. So once you're happy with how your carousel looks, then you need to add it onto whichever page you would like it to show on your website. So we do that in contents and page layout. We've chosen the home page. So if we navigate over to home, and then you choose where about on that page you would like your carousel to show. So I've just added mine down here, but to add that, you simply click add module, click on the drop down and hit dual carousel. Once you've saved your dual carousel, by hitting save over here and refresh your home page, your carousel will show. So we've also created a new module that will allow you to add up to 4 buttons. So then 4 buttons are evenly aligned across the page. So each button has its own text, an option to have a link against it, and a title which will show above that button. So for example, we've got contact us, about us, follow us, and FAQ. So to set this up, again, in the control panel, you want to go to contents and then modules. And you want to hit this module here that says buttons. So once you click add, this green ad at the top over here, your buttons will show. And like I said, you give them a title, a text, and a link. So this is where you choose where you want that button to lead you. So you hit generate link and you can choose to add a web address or whether you would like it to open as a link on your page. So for example, for the contact us button, we've linked that through to the contact page. So when you click on it, it'll link through to the contact. So we've also added an option for whenever a customer is on your website, if they were to hover over any type of process or action button for the colour to change. So for example, ours is changing from green to black. So to do that or set it up, you simply need to navigate back to the control panel and then to style. And then it's these 2 options here, so action buttons and process buttons. So for example, if we hit action buttons, and then it's a second option here, so background colour for buttons on hover. So you can choose whichever colour you would like to show and simply hit save. And then any time a customer hovers over any type of action button on your website, then it's going to change colour. So we've also updated our full width banners. So if you can see on our homepage over here, we now have 1, 2, 3 banners. So this is increased from simply having 1 just at the top to having 1 in the header and the footer also. So you do add this in a slightly different place if you go from the control panel again into contents, but this time into banners. You'll notice the 3 banners appear here. Now you can choose a file of your own or use one of our images. So if you click on view our images and then choose full width banners, you can select whichever banner you would like for it to show by simply hitting this little circle here and then hitting submit at the top. Oh, you would need to make sure you choose which banner you want the picture for. For example, if you want it at the top, the middle or the bottom, and then hit submit. As long as this checkbox here is checked, so show on web store, you don't need to add it in page layout like you would normally. As long as that's showing, when you refresh your homepage, your banners will show in here. And we've also added a new tool to the control panel that allows you to create a blog to show on your web store. So this enables you to promote your own business. So if you can see up the top here, we have company blog. I've also added it in the footer. So the blog tool has the capacity to create pages for new articles, company updates, and events, stuff like that. So you can add that in the control panel again by hitting contents and then going right the way down to pages. Here you can add a page by simply clicking add page. You do need to choose blog from the drop down and give it a URL name. So we'll just call this one welcome. Then you can give it a title, a promotion page. Here's where you choose where you would like the blog to show. So if you would simply like it to show in the navigation bar, you click this one. If you would like it to show in the footer, you click this one. If you would like it to show in both, just tick both of them boxes, and you need to make sure your blog is active. So once you've done that, you can add an entry. So you give it a URL name. And here's where you add the entry into your blog. So you give it a title, you can give it a department, an author, and you can add images, write whatever you need to in your blog. Once you're happy with how it looks, if you hit save and navigate back and back again, once you refresh your homepage, your company blog will show. So if we hit continue reading, you can see the blog there. So the blog is used for features such as dedicated homepage, subpages. You can customize your URL. You can display the link, like I said, in the navigation bar, and you can specify authors and departments. So that concludes today's forum. If you've got any questions, please let us know.